sound separately. But you haven't had a video from us for about 7 weeks, and we've had quite a lot of problems, personal problems, but most of it's sorted now, so we should start seeing regular videos again. I've just come up to the plot and it's absolutely tipping down. Now, not only have you not been getting videos, we've not been really doing a lot at the plot either. Tina's been coming up and watering and things like that, because I've hardly been here. You know, I've come up on the occasional day just to water or to pull in some of the produce and stuff like that. It's not gone to waste or anything. You know, we've pulled in carrier bag on carrier bag on carrier bag of produce. So, you know, that's all in the freezer being dealt with at the moment. We left certain plants go to seed and things like that, so we're going to take you through the state of the plot at the moment, and it is in a state, guys. There is weed everywhere and what have you, as you can only imagine. You know, the major growing part of the year. For 7 weeks we haven't been here, so I'm not going to go into why, but you know, I've had a few personal issues. I've had some problems in work, some problems at home. I've had internet connection issues. It's been all sorts of reasons why you've not had videos, but like I said, that's all in the past now, so you should start seeing regular videos from us again as before. I'm going to give you a quick pan around, and then we're going to look at some specific things and do a little bit of an update. Anyway, I'll come back to you in a moment. Okay, so as you can see, the plot is looking an absolute mess. We've got a bit of blight, a little bit of blight. We've got a lot of blight hit there, but I don't think it's gone into the spuds. Everything is going to seed, but a lot of it is by the fact that I wanted it to go to seed, because as we spoke about before, we were planning on saving a lot of the seed. We're not using F1 varieties this year, or most of the stuff we're not using F1, so we wanted it to go to seed. But we're going to have a little wander around the plot now, and then we'll go from there. So this is the herb bed again. Like I said, most of it's you know, gone on now and what have you, but we got some really good parsley here. We're gonna pick all of that up. We've got some nice bulb fennel. I don't know if you can see them down there. So again, all these need to come out soon. We've got thyme, oregano, some small celery there that didn't really come to a lot. Never does well outside, the celery. As you can see, sage has done really well. It's loved this weather. All of the chard is bolted. You're going to have to excuse it if the screen gets wet, guys, because it's raining again. We had a storm yesterday up here, and everything got really hammered. Now, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of weed on this. This was one of the beds the potatoes were in. The spuds are still in this particular bed, and they need to be dug out. I come up and cut all the tops off when I thought the blight had hit. They hadn't hit those two at the time, so I left them. Obviously it's hit now. Down here, this bed has now got leeks in, but originally, if you remember, we had the kestrel potatoes and Charlotte in here. Just to give you some sort of idea, out of this bed we took nearly 100 kilos of potatoes. I think it was 97 kilos of potatoes we took out of here, and some of them, you know, were, you know, really big spuds. So you know, I'm not expecting huge amounts out of these beds because they were very shallow beds. I can see a few would have popped through the surface and gone green, but we'll chuck them anyway. But that'll be the next job over the next few days, is to clear these beds out. We our beans here done really well. We had massive amounts of crops off them, and I've actually left the beans, bear with me a second, I've actually left the beans that we haven't used on the plant now, and we're going to let these go to seed, ready for next year. So there are tons on there, so we'll have plenty of seed, and we can, you know, perhaps put some around for other people and what have you. Marrows, Dan's marrows. Well, as you can see, this plant has come through the run of beans. If you remember, we planted them on the other side of the beans, and it's come through over this side as well. Now we have got a marrow on this plant, which is here. It's not massive, but there's a marrow there. This plant never done that well. But again, I've got to, we're still getting loads of flowers and things, but I don't think they're going to come too much, to be honest with you. But as you can see, that is the plant. It's absolutely huge. We do have another marrow down here, which is on a side runner. So I'm going to leave him. But this is our main marrow. As you can see in there, he is massive now, and I mean massive. I don't know if you can actually get an idea of how big he is, but we're going to leave him keep going. In fact, we'll give him a feed soon. Like I said, I haven't been up here. Leeks are doing really well. We need to get in there and weed it, but the leeks are doing well. Again, these spuds, we're going to cut all these off now tonight before we go. Get it all off the plot. That's what you'll see now over the next few months, because we haven't been up here for the last 7 weeks. We haven't really been doing successional sowing like we should be doing and what have you, but we will get some stuff in for the winter and what have you. Our onion bed, look at this, guys. This was our onion bed, and this is what I'm saying about keeping the hoe moving. If you don't, it's a nightmare. Because we haven't been here for 7 weeks, this is what's happened. But we are inundated with bindweed here. It is plastered. Now our onions are still in here, and from what I've seen, they seem to be okay. If I can find one, I'll pull one out for you. You'll have to excuse me a second, guys, I'm having a bit of a problem. Here we are. So the onions are in there, and they're okay, but like I said, we need to get them out of there and sort out that plot. Cavadanero, a lot of the brassicas now have been hit by slugs and by caterpillars and stuff, but a lot of it's still okay. So we're going to pull the good leaves off this and freeze those, and we're going to cut them right back, because this will come again for the winter. So that's good. The blackberries have done okay, they're coming on, so they should be good plants next year. Now, this was cleared before 7 weeks ago, and look at it. We do have a pumpkin in here somewhere. Now I don't know if there's a pumpkin growing on it or what, because I can't actually get into it to have a proper look, and I can't see anything, but if I come across it when I cleared all this out again, I'll let you know. We also had some okra given to us off Craig. Not expecting much out of it, to be honest with you. Something's been in here and flattened it all down, but we'll see what happens. We'll dig them out, like I said. Runner beans again, we've got absolute tons of them here, so we're going to get all these off today, because otherwise it's going to go to seed. More kales and stuff there, which we're going to get out. These were sprouts. They got absolutely hammered by the slugs, but I'm going to see if they come through, so I'm going to leave them. This was all broccoli that we harvested, and we just left the stubs in, so it's a bit of a mess up here, as you can see, guys. We left a couple of the collie go to seed, but it didn't come to anything, it rotted off, so again, no problem there. Okay, so as you can see, it's a mess. Everything's gone to seed here because we haven't done nothing with it. We've got some cabbage, but again the slugs have been in it. But we've got 4 or 5 carrier bags worth of cabbage in the house now in the freezer. There's some good reds here, as you can see. Look at that, it's really good head on that, so that's coming out now before they actually get into the center of it. I'll do the same thing on that one in there. They've got in the center of this one, look, but maybe the heart is okay, so I'm not sure. We'll cut them out and we'll have a look at that. The birds have enjoyed the blueberries, as you can see. There's still loads and loads here, but we haven't netted them because we haven't been here. But again, I'll pick some of these now later. Sorry guys, they're beautiful size on these as well, but that'll be part of our job for this year, is to net all our fruit and things like that, and they're absolutely stunning. So right, our carrots and parsnips again, we haven't been in yet filming, so thinning out the plants, but I'll pull one now. We'll have a look, see how we're doing. These are the smaller ones, little stunty growth ones. We're going to be pulling quite a few of these now and getting them in the freezer, because before someone steals them like last year. And see if we can find something around here. That's better, look at that, guys. So a decent sized carrot. That's more like what we're looking for. There's a couple of stunty ones there. So, you know, we're going to get quite a few carrots out of here, I think. Some of them are alright. Look at that one. Nice, big, long, straight. So if I grab a few of these, here we are. Look at that. Nice big bunch of carrots there. So we're going to pull out a load of carrots and what have you. This plant I want to talk to you about. This was, I don't know if you can make it out on the video because I can't really see a lot because of the light. But this was a broccoli plant. We cut most of the heads off and then we left some of it go to seed. And there is absolutely, I don't know if you can see it, thousands and thousands of seed pods on this plant. So we should have plenty of broccoli seed. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave this for a couple more days till it dries out, and then we're going to cut the plant and we're going to hang it up in a polytunnel. Strawberry runners gone nuts again as usual. So let's have a look at the pond. We had to trim this down. It was about 8 feet tall, so this has been trimmed down, but the pond's looking okay, which is good. Again, you can't see the hibernaculum is buried under that lot. Okay, let's get down to the polytunnel and we'll have a look in there. Right guys, as you can see the polytunnel is done. Mental. We've got plants in here, we've got beans growing up there, we've got celery and what have you. There's all the garlic we pulled out of the bed, and you know, it's not a bad size. Some of this garlic, you know, we haven't bothered clean it or nothing. We're gonna, you know, we've had pulling out massive cucumbers that are now going a bit green and what have you. We've pulled out a few corns of cob. We're gonna have a look at some of them in a moment. We've got some nice beans in here as well. And I'm surprised a lot of this has lived, to be honest with you guys, because I don't think it's had nearly enough water. This has just gone like a jungle in the middle. This was all the Cape gooseberries and things like that. We have got some on the plants. Something's fallen down and flattened them off there. So, oh, that's fleece. So we'll stick that back up for now. Okay, right. Tomato plants. They're about 8.5 feet tall. They're massive, but the issue we have pulled absolute tons of tomatoes off them. But the problem we've got now is the fact that, like I said, I wasn't here. We've been watering and what have you, but I haven't been here pulling off all the suckers and stuff. I was to it set up until 6-7 weeks ago, and then it went mental. Let me just shut this door, guys, so you can hear me. Then it went mental. But we just left it go. Like I said though, we will get in here and cut some of these down. My idea with the strings worked really well up to a point, and then down that end they collapsed and the tomatoes got too heavy, like this one. I weren't there lifting them and tying them around and everything else, and again I should have topped them at here, and like I said, I haven't been here, so but I'm sure you'll agree, you know, we have got tons and tons and tons of fruit. I mean, look at them, they're everywhere. We've got tomatoes all over the floor. They, you know, they're on the vines, but you know, not doing too great on this. So I've got a new idea for supporting tomatoes for next year, which will work a lot better, I think. However, we need to worry about this year first. So, but look at all them tomatoes in there, guys. There is absolute stacks. I can't get over how many tomatoes we've had. It is. We just need to ripen them all up now, so I need to start cutting off some of the leaves and things like that. But we've got some nice tomatoes. I think I've got one there that something has had a bit of a go at. But we've been lucky, there's no blight here, so that's something, considering the blight's been out on the thing. I've got a bit of grass that's grown through and what have you there. Right, I'm quite pleased at some things in here. We've got hopscotch chilies. This plant has fallen over because of the weight of the chilies on it. It is absolute tons and tons on it, and you should have staked them. Like I said, I haven't been here, but these chili plants, I mean, look at the size on some of these plants, guys. They are absolutely massive, but there's not a huge amount on them. This pepper plant's done really well. It's given us tons of these peppers, which we've taken off and taken home. Again, they'll be going home now shortly. As we go down again, it's the same story. All the tomato plants are sort of fallen and what have you. Strings are snapped, as you can see, so there's no string across there. That one's all snapped, so they've all just dropped down. Not been a great year. Look at the size on this plant. It's massive, but it's yet to even produce. There's loads of chili buds, but nothing of any significance. I'm wondering whether or not this would be a good candidate to see if we can overwinter this year. It's a bit of a shame, especially considering that's my Carolina Reaper. Right, just not getting the... There's loads of buds on it. Whether they come to anything is another thing. But again, these chilies are all fallen over, and again, we've got chilies on them, but nothing of any serious attempt, like, you know. Again, this one, we've got some chilies in there. So, you know, we're doing okay. We've got plenty of time yet. This one's fallen over, but again, it's got loads of chilies on it. In fact, look at that. But again, like I said, I haven't been here and it's got neglected and what have you. The strings up there are snapped, which were holding all our cucumbers. They're now all over the floor. So it's a real mess in here, guys. There's cucumbers absolutely everywhere in here. Give you some sort of idea. There's another cucumber there. There's one down on the floor down there. There's tons in there. So we need to get in there and clear that out as well. Over here, believe it or not, these are cucumber plants. Again, they're just on the floor. The string snapped. So it was a really bad idea. And if I'd been up here, it wouldn't have mattered, because once one had snapped, I would have probably come up here and staked everything. But I weren't here, so I just have to deal with it. Okay, chilies over here doing okay. There's another Carolina Reaper. Go listen to that rain. Another Carolina Reaper there again. Loads of buds, but no chilies. And I don't know if that is down to the lack of insects I've had in here. That being the case, next year I'm going to actually buy some bees to come in here. But we have got some chilies, like I said, on this one. What's this one? Oh, this is my Moruga. This is the second hottest in the world, and this has got quite a few on it. So maybe we will get something, I don't know. Another bell pepper there, full of peppers. So we've got stuff growing, guys. You know, it's not all a total loss. These kohlrabi have been hammered, and they're massive now, but we'll get them out anyway and see what's what. Cucumbers in here. Yeah. So, you know, there's plenty in here. We just we'll probably get in and we'll rip most of this out, to be honest with you guys, because I really don't see a point in it at the moment. Corn, this done superb in here this year. Now, I was up here the day before yesterday. I've got two kernels over there, that two cobs over there I've pulled off. We've got all these still on here. The one I pulled off, I took one of the ones I pulled off home to try, and it was absolutely stunning. I've just pulled one here now, and the way you can tell, guys, these had a red tassel, and a few people have noticed they were asking about the tassels on these cones, and I said leave them until they go dry, and that's how when you know when they've gone dry. Look, yeah, there we are, guys. Look at that, absolutely stunning, nice yellow. And if you put your nail in it, this is how you can tell it's done. It produces a white milky sap. Okay, that's perfect, that's ready to go. So I'm going to pull most of these, I think, to be honest with you. Then they can come out and it'll create a bit of space in here, and we'll go from there. So that's probably what's going to happen now. In here, guys, like I said, we've got the Cape gooseberries, which they do have Cape gooseberries on. but there's also 2 melon plants in here, and they've just spoiled through, and it's all just been filled with these marigolds and everything else. I totally overdone this bed. I wasn't aware how big marigolds got. I was given them by Phil next door, and he said, "Oh, put a couple in because they'll help the tomatoes." You know, and I've just stuck them in here. But they got, I mean, look at that, that's about 4 feet, that plant, 3.5, 4 feet tall. It's massive. So in here somewhere, I may well have some, I doubt it, but I may well have some melon. But I very seriously doubt it. Look at this. It's just so entwined over each other. We're going to have to just pull it through and get in here and rip it out and see what's what. I can't see any melons. But like I said, this is just going nuts at the moment. However, I do see on these that have all fallen over. You'll have to excuse my phone. It's in my pocket, and it's we do have some Cape gooseberries, but these again have all fallen over. I haven't staked them. Something fell on them. There's a few down there. Look, another one down there. So I'll leave them for now like that. See what happens. Okay. Celery, it's done really well. I'm really pleased. I know they're not massive, but I'm really pleased with that, and the reason I'm pleased with it is because I've never been managed to grow it before, so that's really good. Got a load of these beans, so they've done really well in here. So we're gonna have a fair, you know, even though we haven't been here for 7 weeks, we've still got a massive amount of harvest to take from here. You know, we've got tons and tons of tomatoes to take. These tomatoes are superb though, right? We took one of these beef eaters home a couple of days ago, and it was probably about twice the size of this one here, and we cut it open and it filled. When we cut it down across the middle, it overlapped a slice of bread. It was massive and it was absolutely stunning. It hadn't lost no flavour because of the size. And this is a variety called Super Marmondy. The other thing as well, these little orange tomatoes, they're a cherry tomato. They're called Sun Gold. My son absolutely adores these things, so he's in here helping himself as well. But so for all the effort this year, I mean, we've had tons and tons and tons of stuff out here anyway. Like I said, our freezer is chock-a-block. We've still got stuff coming out and we can still continue growing. But what our thing now to move on is to get the plot outside sorted, and through the winter get it ready for next year. And we may even grow in here through the winter. We don't know yet, but we'll see what happens. I'm just going to take you across now to the chickens a bit quick, if you can have a quick look at them, because you haven't seen them for a while. I've chucked a load of food down for them at the moment, but they are out and about. That cockerel was really ill. Yeah, remember he lost his eye due to scrapping with the other cockerel. He's really done well. He's come back up, no problems at all. And all the chickens must be up here. But that storm has really done a number. It's pulled down people's fences. I've come out of it quite well. The ducks are doing okay. Again, it's tipping down there now. These two ducklings have been down the house with us for the last couple of weeks. They hatched out, but they didn't do very well. So we took them home, and they've just come up here today. So that's great. Pond's still going well, as you can see. So anyway guys, that's about it. All the chickens I think are hiding because of the rain. They must be in the sheds or whatever, but we'll do another update on them later on.